Let's talk about digital detox. Saturday the 25th or 6th, 26th I think of January 2025. And since Storm Aeon, or whatever it's called, we've had no electricity, no power at home since 3 o'clock on. You're looking after your own sewage. You don't have any sewage because no water to flush the toilets. You're looking after, can't boil heat, can't boil kettles, can't use the oven, can't see. When you go to the toilet in the middle of the night, it's a bit of an exercise to put it mildly, because you can't actually find the way to the thinking toilet. Never mind. Anyway, we'll go into the rest of it. But the bottom line is the consequences of having power in the house. You provide your own water and sewage and so on and so forth. It's a serious discomfort. Having said all that, last night myself and herself drank a bottle of wine and played Scrabble. There's no access to the internet, Netflix, no access to TV, no access to our phones. And so it wasn't bad. Now we're going to have to do the same thing again tonight. But what I'm talking about in this video is a digital detox, which involves practically no access to the internet, no access to the phone, no access, or very much slow access to the links and WhatsApp messages and so on and so forth. And quite frankly, there is a silver lining. There is a silver lining to all the inconvenience and so on, and it is useful, I think. And I'm glad that I've actually experienced this digital detox, because I don't know when the phone's going to be back, I don't know when the internet's going to be back, but I do know that I've been forced in the last couple of days, the last 24 hours or so, I've actually been forced to occupy myself in one of the ways that I've done that is with pen and paper, and in giving myself the time to think about things that I need to think about, and I'm able to do it, or have been forced to do it, because of the absence of distractions, because of the absence of notifications, because of the absence of YouTube videos, because of the absence of TV and Netflix and all of the other distractions. So there is a silver lining, and this compelled digital detox, actually, it's not too bad now. It's actually not too bad. Saturday, 2 o'clock, thereabouts, I'm heading over to Kinnegad to get petrol in this Vespa. But the digital detox actually has been a good benefit, and herself is after coming back from the shop there and eating dairy, and she's got another bottle of red wine, and we're going to play Scrabble again tonight. So you need to find the positive in everything, even what appears to be incredibly negative circumstances. You can actually find the positive if you look around, I suppose, and if you have the right attitude, and rather than blaming the ESB or blaming the government or blaming whoever for the discomfort and the fact that there's no power, let's just embrace it and enjoy it and do something, do things that we ordinarily wouldn't do because of all the distractions. That's what I'm doing now. Just say it's only around 2 o'clock on Saturday here. I'm on my way to Kinnegad for fuel and this thing, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the solitude. I'm thoroughly enjoying the dry, clean roads. It's cool, My hands are cold, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And as I say, I've done some good quality thinking over the last thinking with pen and paper that I've kind of been forced to deal with, but it's not too bad. So as I say, you can find a positive in a lot of stuff. Now, let's rock.
The house coming up here now on the left hand side on the road between Gorry and Kinnegad. On the left hand side, I'll show it you there now in a few minutes, but it's the first fixer-upper development that I ever did, and the very first one. Prior to that I had done mainly commercial flips, building up shops, convenience stores and so on, but in this particular situation it was pure residential. It was a residential cottage, you know, traditional cottage. I'll show it to you now in a minute.
There's a house coming up here shortly on the left hand side, and it's the very, very first development I ever did. It was black stone cottage, traditional Irish cottage, like 1.5 floors. It's ground floor, and it's on the first floor in the garden. It's the very first development I ever did. Up here on the left hand side, it's quite well. Did that way back. Yeah, so the left hand side down here, it's the stone place, and I did the extension onto it there. Now you'll have a look, you'll be able to see it there now. Turn this around. That place on the left hand side there was originally just a two-story, or I think it was a two-story cottage, and I built the extension onto it. And repointed the stone, the black stone. It's very, very nice house now. That's it there on the left hand side. There's two lovely boxer dogs in there as well. Heading back from Kinnegad now, back towards Derry, and I'll spin the camera around and you'll see the front of that house there. You'll probably get a better view of that house than I was talking about there earlier on in this video, about the first development that I ever did. It was the first sort of building development I ever did. That's leaving aside the commercial flipping of commercial properties, convenience stores and so on. But this is the first dip into the world of, you know, rehabilitation or remediation or fixer-uppers and flipping them on in a purely residential context. And I'll turn the camera around and you can have a look at it there on the way back. So from Kinnegad towards Derry, and you'll see it on the right hand side there. And there's two lovely boxer dogs actually as well. You can see the boxers as well. Said to be inside today. I'll give you a shout out now when we're passing or coming up. It's the house up here now on the right hand side. So that was a single or a two-story cottage, and I built an extension onto the back of it, and retrofitted it generally, repointed the stonework repointed and so on. This house here on the right hand side, we'll live here now, we'll not live. That house ahead there, actually on the right hand side, the extension I built, repointed that stonework, got it done obviously, I didn't know if I could do it myself, contracted it out, built that nice extension onto it, and it sold pretty well, made a few bob. That's my first residential development, my first residential fixer-upper, as it were. That's it there.
One of the benefits, of riding the Vespa, or indeed riding a motorbike, I presume the same thing applies, same principle applies, is that you're very much in the here and now. In other words, you have to focus and concentrate on what you're doing. Obviously, if you don't concentrate on what you're doing and live very much in the moment, well then you're going to pay the penalty for it. So it's not as if this is something I can do and have an eye out or an ear out for something else, like an audio book or a podcast, or perhaps watching a YouTube video, or passive consumption of content perhaps on the internet if I'm working and I'm listening to maybe the radio in the background or whatever. Riding the Vespa forces me to very much be in the here and now and to concentrate and focus on what I'm doing. And because of that, one of the consequences is that it's pretty useful from the point of view of relaxing and getting your mind to switch off other things that you might ordinarily be concerned with or thinking about or so on. When you're on the bike, whether it's a motorbike or whether it's a Vespa like I have, it's very much a question of, as I say, being in the here and now, focusing. If not, you're going to, be in a world of hurt. So it's one of the few things, in fact, it's the only thing that I do without consuming something else. In other words, when I'm driving or when I'm walking or when I'm running or when I'm cycling, I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to an audio book or whatever. When I'm on the Vespa, all I can hear is the sound of the engine, and what I consume then is what I can hear and what I see in the countryside and so on. So there's a bit of therapeutic benefit, I suppose, to riding a Vespa or indeed riding a motorbike. I presume the same sort of principle applies. I certainly enjoy it anyway, that's for sure. Anyway, hope you like the video. If you do, hit the thumbs up button down below there, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you are, just hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I make a new video. Thanks a lot.
One thing that doesn't require power is the making of sourdough bread. And if a sourdough starter in there, well, you do need power obviously to use the oven when it's ready, but it's not going to be ready until tomorrow. So I can make sourdough bread today because all I need is sourdough starter, which I have, flour, which I have, water, which I have, and salt, which I have. Now it's going to be in the fridge overnight. The fridge is not working, but it's cool enough, so I'm not too concerned about that. But I will need an oven then tomorrow to cook it, or to bake it rather. There's no power back yet, so that's what we're going to do. Now where's the starter? It's in here. Starter is here.